Hey everybody, I'm Shannon McGee. I'm a network and action franchise owner in Nashville, Tennessee, and I am really excited to introduce Cheri today. So just a little backdrop is we did this as an agenda last summer, and it was so impactful for my members. Like it opened up their eyes on how that can help them grow their business. And so I decided to become certified as a bank iOS coach. And that just we can talk more about that later, but the point was this is such a fabulous tool, and it's been tremendous to help me close more business faster. And so those of you who did the bank agenda earlier this month, just some stats Cheri asked me to share with you because I thought was kind of fun. I gathered codes from about 83 people. And of the 83 people, you're more likely, 82% more likely to close someone of your same personality. And I'm a nurture knowledge. Well, after this, doing the agenda this month and getting all the codes, I realized out of a 83 people, I had 51% nurture, 20% action, 18% blueprint, and 11% knowledge. And what that actually, I believe, reflects is these last 5 months that I've been really focused on doing bank and has expanded the diversity in my group. And so I tease that so you guys listen to what she's going to share about why we do this and how it can impact your business. So it's my pleasure and honor to introduce Cheri Tree. She's a best-selling author, professional keynote speaker, and world-renowned entrepreneur and innovator. She's the founder and CEO of Codebreaker Technologies, with codebreakers in more than 100 countries worldwide. She's the creator of the revolutionary bank methodology and Codebreaker's patented personal coding technology and artificial intelligence, designed to help her clients increase their influence, income, and impact in the world. Cheri's a top in-demand speaker and has spoken to millions of entrepreneurs and professionals globally at some of the top business conferences in the world. She's been invited to speak at Harvard University, the University of California, Google, GoDaddy, and the United Nations. Cheri's a leading technology and transformation She's leading the technology and transformation revolution with her high-tech, high-touch Codebreaker company and community. She has been featured in numerous international publications, including Forbes.com, and has received numerous awards and nominations, including Woman of the Year, Female Thought Leaders of the Year, Maverick of the Year, SaaS Company of the Year, Innovator of the Year, and Achievement in Technology Innovation. She's fueled by her mission to connect and empower humanity and ultimately to make people matter. Her vision is to crack 8 billion codes, equating to the code of every human in the world. So it's my pleasure to introduce you to Cheri.
Shannon, thank you. And hello, everybody from the NIA. It's so great to see you. Thank you for joining. And some of you I've met in person, and some of you I have not yet, but I have a deep passion for networking. It's how I got my start as an entrepreneur. I read the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and Robert Kiyosaki said, if you're going to be successful in business as an entrepreneur, you need to be good in sales. And I wasn't. And I started to go and plug into networking organizations in my young career and just really trying to figure out how to connect with people. So I'm honored to be strategically partnered with Scott and the entire NIA. We train all of your franchise owners across the board, including Scott as a code breaker. And it's my honor to be able to train you as the members to really give you a boost in your ability to create better connections, convert more sales, make a lot more money, and build high quality relationships. And I have kind of a really fun secret weapon that I created that gave me a quote unquote unfair advantage. And I want to teach that to you so that you can make the very most of your membership with the NIA. And of course, continue to grow with the organization. So I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to walk you through an introduction to this bank methodology. I'm going to show you, and we're going to unlock the secrets, the science, and the system. And I'm going to give you some really powerful tips that you should be able to go and immediately begin to apply and start to see some results coming in from learning this. So we have about an hour together today. First 45 minutes or so, 50 minutes is going to be talking about what I'm going to teach you. And then we're going to open it up for some Q&A if you have any questions. And then if you want to know more and you're like, how do I get my hands on the info, or how do I read your book, or how do I do your trial, or any of that, you can get back to the franchise owner who will be able to direct you, or will direct you to the business resources on the NIA website. So let me share my screen and we'll go ahead and jump in and get started. Okay, so I'm Cheri Tree, and Shannon just gave me this introduction so I can skip and fast forward. And Shannon, thank you, highlighting some of our amazing accomplishments. And hopefully that's just a little bit of social proof and credibility that this isn't something that we just invented yesterday. It's actually getting a lot of traction. And I want to make sure that you're not left behind as the last adopter of this philosophy. Because it's very possible that your competition is getting trained on this. So that's why Scott, Scott, he's very proactive with wanting to bring you the very best to give you the most likely chance of success. So we're going to be focused today on a 4-letter word called bank. If you're hearing about it for the first time, or maybe you've done some of the networking exercises, bank is personality based. And I'm going to go through that in great detail today. Bank is profit focused because we want you to make more money. There's nothing wrong with making more money. And you'll find that you actually are going to need a lot more of it in order to be truly financially independent and successful. Bank is people-centered because at the core of every relationship, and you know this through networking with the NIA, is another human being. We are not at the phase where we're networking with AI robots. Thank goodness. And bank is purpose-driven because this is way more than making money. This is about creating impact, not just for your business, but your family, your community, and even humanity. So I'm going to play a quick little video, and hopefully the video can summarize the essence of it, and then I'll take you deeper into it. So here's a quick little video.
There's 6,500 foreign languages spoken in the world, but we believe only one language has the power to unite and connect the human race. We call that language bank. And bank is a methodology that we created, which is personality-based. It's rooted in the principles of the 4 personality types dating back thousands of years, with a very powerful modern-day twist that, when applied to business and relationship, creates extraordinary results.
The number one problem is people want to make more money and they don't know how. So they have a problem actually connecting with their prospect, their lead, their customer, the person across from them. We teach them how to communicate more effectively and figure out their personality type, and then try to get a better connection, and it automatically leads, when people like you, they want to buy your product.
What we specifically do for our clients is we teach them how to increase their influence, their income, and their impact up to 300%.
It's opened doors that I didn't even know existed. I immediately saw the impact that it could have in education. Not only has it increased my income, but it has absolutely changed my impact and my influence. Bankcode is an amazing technology that you can use to find out about other people rather than just yourself. I'm communicating better with my friends, my family, my clients.
Getting to yes sooner, getting to what matters to the person sooner by just listening to what they value.
And really just gave me an opportunity to connect with people in a much different way.
Making it a win-win-win for all the people involved.
It's literally lighting a fire inside of me that I didn't know I had.
And it was really a no-brainer for me.
There's a lot of assessments that are in the market. Ours is unique originally because most every other assessment was based in psychology, whereas bank was based in what we call biology, spelled B-U-Y-ology, which was the science of buying behavior, or what we now understand as buy-in behavior. It's the science of communication. So it gave us a very unique ability to predict someone's buying behavior in less than 90 seconds, and now in nanoseconds using our Codebreaker artificial intelligence. So if you want to learn more and you want to come join our Make People Matter movement, you want to discover more about yourself and your personality, come visit us at codebreakerglobal.com. Codebreaker Global, make people matter.
All right, so quick video. I'm going to ask that you participate with me in the chat box. It just makes it way more fun and interactive for all of us. So what this is designed to do is to help you as individual business owners increase your income, your influence, and your impact up to 300%. So I want you to type yes into the chat box if you would love any one of these three, or maybe all three of these outcomes. If you want more income, you want more influence, you want more impact, type yes into the chat box. Okay, it's kind of a no-brainer. So I wrote the book called Why They Buy, and today I'm going to walk you through the secret, the science, and the system that can really drive these types of results. And again, this is why we do it. There was a study that was done a number of years ago by the Cheri group, and they said, hey, I wonder if personality types matter in the sales process, right? While we're out there trying to get new customers for your business. And what they revealed was astonishing. They said only 18% of buyers will buy from a salesperson, meaning you, the networker, the business professional, who doesn't match the buyer's personality type. So only 2 out of 10 people are going to say yes to you if you don't match their personality type, versus 82% success rate when personality types are aligned. Okay, so in other words, if you can simply align the personality style of your prospect, potential client, you are 82% likely to get a yes, versus only 18% likely if you don't match. So I'm not a rocket scientist, right? But this is personality science, and therefore there is a science to making the match happen. And when you look at Shannon's results with the NIA, I think it's fascinating that out of over 80 people with all of her members in her groups, 51% of them were nurturing, and that's her dominant bank code, which means when she goes to recruit a new member to her NIA group, it's almost a laydown when they're nurturing. And then it gets progressively harder based on the other personality types. And I want to help you be able to nail all 4 so that you can maximize your influence and therefore your income and your impact. Now we're going to talk a little bit about sales and sales conversion. Robert Kiyosaki, author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, said the ability to sell is the #1 skill in business, right? And if you have an aversion to sales, let's get over that, because the truth is sales equals influence. And if you're representing a product, a service, an opportunity that you want your clients to be in front of and partake in because it improves their life, then the only failure is the failure to close the sale, right? Your customers deserve access to your products and services you're consulting. The challenge is what I found is that we've all been brainwashed into believing one of the greatest lies ever told, which is that sales is a numbers game. Okay, type yes into the chat box if you've ever heard that, or if you've ever heard that in order to get more yeses, you have to get more nos. Type yes if you've heard that, right? Most of us have heard that before, and that's redundant everywhere we go. And for 5 years, I bought into this philosophy, and it kept me broke, and it kept me in the hustle and grind phase where, oh my gosh, I needed to show up to more events and get more leads and network harder until I wanted to pass out. Until I woke up one day and said, this is actually the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Because the truth is, in order to get more yeses, you actually have to get more yeses, not more nos. Now I want you to type yes into the chat box if you just want to get more yeses. What if by being a member of the NIA, you could learn a secret and a science to getting more yeses so that your networking experience is like creating a massive ROI for you and your family? Imagine what that could look like and what that would do for you. And I'm going to put a few numbers on the screen here that'll kind of blow your mind with what happens when you use it. I'll share my personal story. So the secret, if you're taking notes, is that sales is not a numbers game, my friend. Networking is not a numbers game. It's a people game. And if you can learn to play the people game, and I can teach you how to win that people game and how to truly create a win-win scenario with you and your clients, it's game over. And this is when it gets super exciting. So this is a little bit of my backstory. After reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, and he said, you need to get good in sales, I said, okay. And I became a financial advisor, and I was working in a full commission model, right? So no salary or base. And my first year, I crushed it. I made $700. Like, that was my total income. It was the worst year of my life. But I decided I'm not going to quit. I'm going to keep pursuing because I had big dreams and goals. And so I started to really study everything I could learn about sales and how to be successful. I read books. I attended conferences. I, listened to audio programs. I hired coaches paying thousands of dollars of money I didn't have to get better. And over that 5-year period, I got better, and you can see my income jumping to $72,000. I don't know about you, but for me, I didn't feel anything close to successful at this point, because the truth is I was $30,000 in credit card debt, renting an apartment, couldn't qualify for a home, and driving a salvage title BMW playing the fake it till you make it game. Now imagine me strutting into the NIA group being like, hey, everybody, I'm your local financial advisor, and I'm so freaking broke, I can't even afford a home or a normal car, right? It just felt like I was the biggest hypocrite on the planet. And it reminded me of this other quote from Robert Kiyosaki where he said, stop taking advice from people more messed up than you. And I was like, uh-oh, like I'm a broke financial advisor. I don't like playing this game. It felt out of integrity for me. So I decided I needed to take a few steps back. I needed to figure out what's broken. Is it me that's broken? Like maybe I'm just not cut out for this and I should probably go back and get a job. Or is it perhaps the system that's broken? And I found out, and this is the good news and why I'm here today and why Scott was so enthusiastic, is the system has been programming so many of us to fail by brainwashing us into the concept of sales as a numbers game, or to go for no instead of go for yes. So today I'm going to disrupt that pattern. And if you're excited, I want you to type yes into the chat box. If you're like, I'm ready for disruption. Okay. What I ended up discovering is one of the greatest secrets ever in the history of sales. I figured out the exact secret of how to get a yes and make it easier than anything you've ever done before. That little secret was my 4-letter word called bank. And in 1 year using my secret in business, doing the same exact thing, my income went from $72,000 to over $500,000, 7x increase. I want you to type 7x into the chat box if you would love to see your income skyrocket 7 times in the next 12 months. Type 7x if you want to manifest that. The best part is I went from working 60 to 80 hours a week down to 20 to 30. So now imagine making 7 times the income in 1/3 the time. Would you be like, heck yeah, sign me up for that program, and thank God I joined the NIA, right? Because this is where you discovered that program. Within 3 years of using it, it just became easier and easier to get the yeses, and the yeses became bigger and bigger yeses. My income was now over $1 million a year. So by 33 years old, I'm making over $1 million a year, more than doctors and attorneys and all kinds of people that were way more educated or way more professional. I started getting featured in magazines, and this is Success from Home magazine. It's highlighting me, by the way. No, I'm not the lady in the red dress. I love to say dreams come true. That one never worked out for me, but I am the one in the black suit in the middle here, and it's highlighting my income at 2.9 million and climbing. I just want to stop for just a moment, because there's another really dumb myth that you may have heard that says money doesn't buy you happiness. Do you really believe that? Because that's another really, really dumb thing. Of course, money buys you happiness. It buys you freedom. It buys you choices. It buys you options. You're able to pay off your debts. You're able to travel with your family and create memories to last a lifetime. That stuff costs money. Not to mention the fact if you want to give it away and create a lot of impact for humans. So you need to have a lot of money. And therefore, this became a really important piece of what I teach. Now, money isn't everything. We also know that. Relationships are super, super important. The good thing is bank helps there too. Well, what happens, and I want you to ask yourself, and let's just do a trivia question. I want you to type the word lunch in the chat box. If I was your local NIA member, and if I got up during my little chance to hold a microphone and I said, hi, NIA members, my name is Cheri Tree, and I can teach you how to triple your sales conversion in half or 1/3 the time. I want you to type the word lunch if you would take me to lunch and buy my lunch to pick my brain. Type lunch into the chat box. And this is kind of a test, because some of you are just going to be voyeurs on the sidelines, like watching people come into the NIA who could potentially transform everything about your life. And yet you just see them as your local NIA member. But there's others of you that are like, oh my gosh, stop the presses, cancel my appointments. I'm taking this woman to lunch because I have got to know her secrets, especially if you saw me go from broke salvage title BMW to suddenly like rolling it, right? And I could no longer keep this a secret. My chest was on fire, wanting to go out there and share the secret because I knew that there was other people struggling just like me, because I networked with them every day at these different events, just like you. And all of a sudden, I was getting asked to come and keynote and share the stage with legendary icons like Tony Robbins or Susie Orman, Robert and Kim Kiyosaki, Steve Wozniak from Apple, Les Brown, Sir Richard Branson. They all wanted to know my secret, and they wanted me to share my secret with their audiences. And this is how banks started to go global on us, okay? So I'm here because Scott heard me speak. And Scott was like, whoa, oh my gosh, like what if we brought this concept to the NIA? What if we introduced our members to the bank system? What if we could reveal the secret behind why they buy, what triggers the yes versus the no? And there's been a lot of scientific studies that have been done on bank. We've got published white papers you can certainly get access to, and I'll make sure that Scott can load those up into your NIA resources in case you want to download it and read it for yourself. Right? But this is the only methodology in the world that's been scientifically validated to predict the buying behavior of your customer, your client, your lead, your prospect, your referral in less than 90 seconds. What if you had a hack that could predict how to get a yes in less than 90 seconds? Type yes into the chat box if you're like, I want that hack. Because some of you want to hustle harder and grind harder. I'm in the no thank you club for that. I did that, burnt the candle at both ends. No thanks. Don't want to do it anymore. I'm sorry. But if I can show up and create really powerful connections and then have equally strong conversions, like, yes, I love business at this point. So for those of you that are in the yes club with me, then now I want to teach the next layer, which is the science. The reason this works is because it's a science, not just an art. And by science, what this means is that you can actually learn it. It's something that I can deconstruct and transfer to you and have you know exactly how to apply this science to create the same exact results. The type of science that bank is based in is something called personality science. This is the idea that people are different. You intuitively know this, right? There's different types of people. Well, the science actually dates back thousands of years to Hippocrates, the father of medicine, who basically figured out that he could divide the entire human race. So think of your NIA chapter group, divide you into 4 different groups, and he could treat you with medicine differently. This was like mind-blowing science 2,500 years ago. He called this the theory of the 4 temperaments. Well, when you fast forward to today's world, there's been a lot of iterations on the idea of personality types and a lot of assessments that have been created so that we humans could figure out which one of the 4 we are. And you may be one who's taken 1 or 2 or many of these assessments like DISC or MBTI, the color code, True Colors, Berkman method. I mean, literally there's dozens of them. Millions of people take these assessments. You probably have. I know I certainly did. In the beginning, I was fascinated with what I learned about myself, but my fascination turned into frustration when I realized not one single one of these assessments ever made me more money. Not one of them ever helped me network more strategically. Not one of them ever helped me close more sales. And I remember thinking, what is the point of taking all these assessments? Because I have never had a client stop me. And I want you to ask yourself, have you ever had a client, a potential client, stop you in the middle of your sentence and say, hold on, Mr. Mortgage Broker, before you go any further telling me about your services, I just want to know your personality type. Like, that's never happened to me. Nobody ever cared. But I remember thinking, wait a minute, if it's been proven for thousands of years that there's 4 different types of people, I wonder if they make buying decisions differently. And I wonder if what makes one person say yes makes another person say no. And I thought, wait a minute, show me the assessment who can tell me not who I am, but who my buyer is. It didn't exist. So I thought, I'm going to invent one as an experiment. I got nothing to lose. I already suck at sales. What's the worst that could happen? What if I actually crack a code? And I did. Now, there's a lot of people who are like, hey, is the bank assessment exactly like DISC or MBTI or those other assessments? Because they all look like the same 4 colors and they all tell me the same thing. And what I'll say to you is yes. Okay, take DISC, D-I-S-C, take bank, B-A-N-K, put them together. What I would tell you, NIA members, is they are the exact same thing, only completely different. What I found was that every other assessment model was based in psychology, whereas bank was the world's first based in what I call biology, spelled B-U-Y-ology, the science of buying behavior. I want you to type the word biology into the chat box if you're like, I want to learn that one. I want to learn exactly what makes my customers say yes or no, because if you can make me better, whoo, sky's the limit. Going for a moonshot right now. Okay. So for those of you that are with me and you're like, oh my God, this is like the best thing I've ever seen. Okay, teach me how it works. Okay, let's deconstruct it a little bit. All right. How it works is I've got, just checking my time here. This device on the screen right here is called a cryptex. Cryptex is a combination of two words: cryptology, which is the science of locking up secret information, and codex, which is the secret script or scroll. So here I'm saying we're going to teach you how to crack the personality code, NIA, and take it to the bank. Well, this little device was made famous in the movie The Da Vinci Code, right? So if you saw that movie, you would know that what was locked inside this device, if you could successfully crack the code and get it to open up, is a tiny little piece of paper. What was written on that scroll revealed the secret to the Holy Grail. There's only one way to access that secret. You had to crack the code, okay? The challenge is this little device was booby-trapped. Think of it like a ticking time bomb, because the scroll of paper was wrapped around a fragile little vial of vinegar. And if you failed to crack the code correctly, what you'd crack instead is that vial of vinegar, which would leak out, dissolve the writing on the scroll, leaving you with what? With nothing. Nothing. What's my point? I want you to imagine that every single member of the NIA has a little invisible cryptex. I want you to imagine that every referral you get from other members of the NIA to go talk to their network has a little invisible cryptex. And I want you to imagine if what was written on that piece of paper revealed exactly what to say to them to get a yes instead of a no. Type yes into the chat box if you're like, yep, I want to know that code. Because that became the significance of the bank code. If I could crack that code and get the device to open up, I want you to imagine if what was written on that piece of paper was exactly what to say to your potential client to get a yes. No matter what your offer is. You could be selling pool cleaning services. You could be the HVAC guy. You could be the mortgage banker, the financial advisor, the insurance agent, like whatever. You get a yes. Isn't that the holy grail for those of us that are business owners and entrepreneurs? Yes, right? So let's go a little bit further. Tony Robbins says, let your prospect determine your presentation. I said, okay, Tony, wait a minute. If there's 4 different types of people, shouldn't I have 4 different approaches, 4 different ways to communicate? And yet most of us are told to have one way and to just keep repeating, going for no and playing the numbers game. That's like Russian roulette. That's terrible advice. So what I decided to do is, what if I could actually develop a message that was appropriate for the B's, the A's, the N's, and the K's separately, differently? What would that do? Because the most common mistake that you're likely making, you may be a seasoned professional. You might be in your career for 20 years. But what I found based in the science is whatever your dominant personality type is, let's say that out of the 4, this is my 1. When I go talk to my matching personality type, just like Shannon did, right? I'm going to get a yes almost every time. 82% success rate. Well, that's only one of the 4 buyer groups. But then I realized, wait a minute, if I go talk to them in my exact same way to the other 3 personality types, chances are I'm going to get a no 3 out of 4 times. This means I'm leaving potentially 75% of the business or the money, the revenue, the income on the table by simply delivering the wrong presentation message. That's a lot. And if you want to know the cost of this, like people ask me all the time, Cheri, what does it cost to buy your bank system? Let me tell you what it costs not to invest in it. Take your annual income, whatever your income was last year in your profession, and multiply it times 3. So if you made $100,000 last year, triple it. Whatever your triple number is, that is the amount of money you potentially lost last year not using this science. I want you to type ouch into the chat box if you're like, oh my God, that sucks. Ouch. Because I get that money isn't everything for you and your family, but wouldn't you want to take that pile of money home? Can't you think of things that you could have done with that money? Should you have closed that many more sales? I can, right? And that's why our clients get so enthusiastic. So what bank is going to do is it's going to give you a shot at taking the no's and converting them to yeses and putting that money in your bank account. Because if we go back to this stat right here from this research, again, this validates exactly what I'm telling you theoretically, is if you can simply match the buyer's personality style, you are 82% likely to get a yes. So all I wanted to do was I wanted to create a system based in science where I can learn how to effectively match my buyer based on exactly what triggers them to say yes, without any manipulation and being totally transparent and authentic. It's the equivalent of learning how to speak a different language. So if you look at these 4 styles, and I'm sitting here saying bank can make you 300% better, and you're like, bull. Although our published white papers show that result all the time. Because imagine now you have 4 buyers, 4 NIA members, or 4 referrals. And let's say that one referral is a B, one is an A, one is an N, one is a K, just like you see them stacked here. When you go talk to the B, let's see that the B, the blue block, is your native code. Let's pretend that one's the English one, if we're going to use languages as an example. You go talk to your matchy code, you speak English to each other, you get a yes. That's the easy one in the bag, just like the stats say. That's Shannon getting a nurturer. A nurturer shows up looking at the NIA. Welcome aboard. You're buying a membership, right? Of course, easy. But what about when you go talk to the action personality type, the red one here? Let's say they don't speak English, they only speak French. And let's say that unfortunately in your ignorance, you just show up speaking English and they don't speak English, they only speak French. Are you going to close the sale? No. What if you had the ability to identify quickly, less than 90 seconds, this person doesn't speak English, change your conversation to French, and all of a sudden you say, bonjour tout le monde, je m'appelle Cheri, j'ai habité en France pour 3 ans quand j'étais petite, enchantée. And they're like, oh, what? You speak my language? Of course. Mais oui, d'accord. And all of a sudden you have an amazing connection because you just did what the science shows you on this slide right here. You just increased the probability of getting a yes from the French person by 82%. What? Right? Now you go back and you're like, oh my God, this is awesome. Okay, let's meet the third personality style, the yellow block with the end. Let's say that they don't speak English or French. How about they speak Romanian? Again, are you going to show up in your ignorance and force English into their conversation when they don't speak it? Or are you going to say, wait a minute, hold on, let me crack your code. Let me figure out you speak Romanian and bună ziua, mă numesc Cheri, am fost misionară pentru biserica mea, am locuit acolo pentru un an jumate, îmi pare bine. Now, if you have no idea what I said, neither do your customers when you speak the wrong personality type. They're just not going to buy from you, only 18% of them. Versus if you did speak that native language, you would be like, what? How are you dropping Romanian right now? Ha! This is cool, right? So all of a sudden you've increased your ability to influence and convert, AKA drive your income by another 200%. Because now you can close and engage not just 1 out of the 4, but 2 out of the 4, 3 out of the 4. What about that 4th personality style, the K, the green one? K stands for knowledge. Let's say they don't speak English, French, Romanian. How about the K speaks Korean? And you're like, oh my God, I don't even like spicy food. But what if getting that yes could change your future? What if that one yes sets you on a trajectory towards success that's just in your imagination? All you have to do is get that yes. Then speak Korean. And you say, 안녕하세요. 나는 한국말 조금밖에 못해요. And all of a sudden the Korean person is like, what? And you become 300% more influential. Bank doesn't change who you are. Bank simply allows you to communicate effectively with the 4 styles based on their listening. I want you to type bank into the chat box. If you're like, I love this idea, type bank into the chat box. If you want to be 300% more influential, if you want to potentially make 300% more income, and by the way, let's say you can do it in 1/3 or 2/3 of the time, because you know exactly where the bullseye is, and the bank system's going to teach you exactly how to communicate in a way that just gets the yes. Type bank into the chat box. Okay, so this is where our clients now become raving fans, and they're like, all right, I'm sold. Teach me everything you know. Because if you can teach me an old dog a new trick and it works, I'm in. I'm in. And you guys have your own live living testimonial right here with Shannon. Shannon has been through our bank training. Shannon loved the bank training so much, what it was doing for her to convert new NIA members to her groups, that she said, I want to get certified in this. I want to become like a black belt in this. Because what will it do for your income? Well, I think it's obvious, right? So then what we created was the system. Now I needed a system that I could like repeat until rich. And I needed a system that I could go teach, duplicate it, transfer it, and scale it across an organization. So I turned it into a system. So the bank system is the acronym of Blueprint, Action, Nurturing, and Knowledge. Only again, ours is based specifically in buying behavior. What triggers the yes versus the no? So I'm going to just give you a quick little glance into each of the 4 styles, and then I'll start to wrap it up. How do we crack someone's code? How do we know who we're talking to? And then from there, I'll say, if you want to know more, then we'll give you instructions on how to know more. Okay. But here's the quick little training segment on bank itself. The B stands for blueprint. I use the color blue. This person is just generally colder to approach. They're a lot more formal. Well, when you look down the right side of the screen, you're going to see all of the values. What I discovered was that if you carved open the chest of a blueprint showing up to the NIA, you would find an operating system that is unique for blueprints. And that operating system is being driven by a set of values. These values are invisible. You can't necessarily see them anywhere in writing, except this is their modus operandus. So a blueprint values things like stability, structure, systems, planning, processes, predictability, duty, responsibility, rules, credentials, titles, tradition. So you can automatically start to see the way you're going to approach this person is going to be very different than approaching Shannon or approaching me, for example, approaching Scott. When you meet them at the NIA, you're going to give them a professional greeting. Nice to meet you, Mr. and Mrs. Blueprint, right? Very formal. Okay. So I wanted to give you a few quick tips for this training since I want to honor your time. Thank you for being here. For example, when you're networking with the Bs at the NIA, the Bs, that's the acronym for Blueprint, they consider networking a necessary, but often frustrating part of doing business. So in other words, they don't really like it. Blueprints hate to waste time or resources on networking events and organizations if they do not deliver a reliable ROI. They hate the chitty-chatty social piece of it. They'll visit as many networking organizations or events at first, but once they find one that they like, their investment is going to be well spent. They become very loyal, right? So the good news is they become a long-term member of the NIA. Blueprint types are the first to arrive at any networking event because punctuality is a very, very big deal. If you want to lose a deal with a blueprint, show up late. Watch what happens. You'll break their vial of vinegar. They want to find the best parking spot. They want to settle into their seat before getting started. At the event, the blueprints are always incredibly professional, and they expect others to behave similarly. So if Cheri Tree walks in and she's like, "What's up, members?" Or you can imagine Scott showing up to an event like, "Pow!" The blueprints get very nervous. They get very cautious. They get very skeptical. They get very closed. Okay, so there's a very specific way to communicate to a blueprint that unlocks that yes, right? Now, let's flip to the next one, the action. I use the color red. These are red hot firecrackers. Imagine Scott. He drinks Red Bull for breakfast, you know, supercharged, powered up coffee. Like that dude is like, go, 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 fast track red line. And they want VIP red color carpet treatment. Well, you open up the operating system of an action personality type, they're wired totally differently. Their values are freedom, flexibility, spontaneity, action, opportunity, excitement, attention, stimulation, competition, winning, having fun, and they care all about their image. From head to toe, it's all for show. So you should be able to recognize them the moment they roll up. Right? In terms of greeting, they're not going to be the formal blueprint handshakey type. They're going to be more the action high five. What's up, buddy? How was your weekend? How's the golf game? Boom. You can see how totally annoying an action is to a blueprint. Can't stand them. And likewise, you can see how an action looks at a blueprint and they're like, oh my gosh, you're like a bump on a log. Do you have a personality? Right? So you can already start to see the polarity and the disconnect. And that's why birds of a feather flock together and why your NIA meetings are probably going to have little groups inside the groups that gravitate towards their like matchy kind. Okay. It automatically happens. It started happening back in grade school. Okay. How action people approach nurturing. A's love networking as long as it's fun and filled with opportunities. Actions frequently network jumping from group to group and event to event to make as many quality connections as possible. A's don't want to network with just anyone. They're very exclusive and very choosy about who they want to do business with. They're looking to connect with the movers and shakers and millionaire makers. If you don't give off that vibe, they're probably going to dismiss you or just be socially friendly. Action types tend to cruise into a networking event at the last minute so that they make a splashy entrance. Why? Because they believe the event doesn't start until they arrive. Life is on their terms, not your terms. Again, totally annoying and upsetting to blueprints that are at the event saying, can't you show up on time? Why can't you respect the protocol? Okay. A's love to be noticed, so they show up ready to shine. Actions want to make a killer impression that draws others to them, so you're going to see them. The car they drive, the watch they wear, the purse, the shoes, the scarf, the tie, all of it is an action wanting to, you know, kind of peacock a little bit. That's what they do. And they're looking for the other ones that give off that same vibe. Well, actions have their way of doing business, and they have ways of saying yes, and they have ways of saying no. I've literally heard action clients say the reason I didn't buy from so-and-so, even if you're in the same membership group, is based on what you wore or what you drove or how you behave. See, people are always judging. They judge within 7 seconds of meeting. Bank just simply gives you the filter to know exactly what they're judging you about. And they're processing whether or not they want to do business with you, whether or not they trust doing business with you. Well, the N, let's think of Shannon. The N's, I use the color yellow. These people are super warm like sunshine, sweet like honey, and they've got a heart of gold, right? So there's the nurturer. You open up their operating system and ooey gooey love is going to leak out because they're powered by these values: relationships, authenticity, personal growth, significance, teamwork, involvement, community, charity, ethics, harmony, morality, and contribution. This person cares more about making a difference than they do about making a dollar. They're showing up socially and to create impact. How do you greet them when they show up to the NIA? Not with a cold handshake, not with an aggressive high five. No, you're going to give them a nice warm hug. Shannon, welcome back to the NIA. It is so good seeing you. Mwah. That's what a nurturer wants. Now, that type of a greeting is not what the blueprint or the action wants, or for sure the knowledge, but the nurturers, wow, watch them hug, hug, hug. Okay. Well, when the nurturers are showing up to network here at the NIA, they're passionate about networking because they're passionate about people. They see every networking event as a chance to build community and relationships. Although nurturers are always willing to join another networking group if invited, they tend to stick with a networking group over time to grow together. Thus the NIA. They want to feel like family, right? You show up and you're the brothers and sisters They've never met a stranger come to the NIA. They're great inviters. They're great referral sources, right? While networking, the ends don't jump from person to person. They want to have a nice, authentic connection. They want to hear your personal story. How was your weekend? Your in-laws came. How did it go? Right? Did you bake that recipe? How was your son's birthday? That's what it's going to sound like. Not like, hey, can you tell me what the rates are in the market and can you refinance my home? That is not what you're going to hear from a nurturer, right? Nurturer types show up early so they can help set up. They can welcome everybody, sign in. Hey, can I help you unload your car, Shannon? Can I help you carry that in? Can I help you set up the registration table? What do you need? Can I get you a glass of water? That's what it sounds like from the nurturing people. They'll reach out to new guests. So you always want to have plenty of nurturers stacked in your NIA group so that they make all these people feel super warm and welcome. You're going to have more membership that way, right? They're going to greet everyone. They want to make people feel comfortable. They want to support other networkers. Good salt of the earth type people. All right. So nurturers are wonderful referral sources and really do a great job of making people feel accepted and wanted and like they belong, right? You need lots of them too. Then we transition and move over to the Ks. And I want to start to wrap this up so I can have some Q&A, but the Ks are powered by a totally different operating system. I use green because I think Microsoft Excel spreadsheets and the matrix where the computer code falls across the screen is green. So they value things like learning, intelligence, logic, self-mastery, technology, research and development, science, universal truths, expertise, competence, accuracy in the big picture. That knowledge personality type is there for a completely different reason than the other three codes. Each one has their own reason for showing up. Each one has their own way that they prefer to greet and network, right? Matter of fact, when it comes to the K knowledge, I had to think long and hard. How do the Ks want to greet you? And then I realized they don't even want to touch you. So here's what I came up with. Okay. The Ks would just prefer like have a conversation and be intellectual around it, but don't be ooey gooey and don't be aggressive and don't be weird. Okay. That they just don't want people that close to them, to be honest. They're not even sure if they like people. Okay. So Ks don't really enjoy networking. They don't like large groups, and networking can feel superficial to them. Like it's very awkward. They're kind of wallflowery-ish. Right? Ks don't want to, or they want to delve deep into issues, and networking conversations often pass too quickly for them to cover all the details. So they don't like the surface level chitty chat social part. If they can find a networking group that indulges their curiosity, where there's all these learning segments, look at this right now. The Ks are like, oh my gosh, I want more. I want more. I want more. Feed me, feed me, feed me. But also expect a lot of questions. They're going to take their time deciding, should I buy a membership? They get stuck in analysis paralysis, right? So when you're selling to them, they want to know, hey, is there an expert coming? They want to listen carefully. They want to take copious notes. They're like, Cheri, you talk too fast. Can you please slow it down? Like, wow. Ks are more likely to stand back and observe the room rather than approach others. So they don't feel comfortable in general networking. And if they force themselves to do it like a necessary evil, like is just, this is why almost all of the franchise owners of the NIA have immersed themselves into the bank training, because they want to learn not only how to be far more influential with bringing on new members, but how to create the best member experiences for everybody involved in the NIA. Because you can no longer put on a one-size-fits-all program once you understand bank. It would be crazy. So if I pull this to a close, what's very important is that every person that you meet, whether they're an NIA member, whether they're a referral you're getting from an NIA member, whether they're a client that you're currently doing business with, or whether they're a family member or friend, every one of them is not just one of these four codes, but they're a combination of all four. So every human is part blueprint, part action, part nurturing, and part knowledge. And that's what we call your bank code. So if you think of a bank code like a PIN code to your debit card, and you go put your debit card into an ATM machine, it's going to want a 4-digit PIN code if you want your money to come out. Well, your customer, your client, your prospect, your fellow member has a 4-digit bank code. And if you know what that bank code is, and then if you can train yourself how to communicate to that code, a yes is going to come out. And if a yes comes out, money usually follows the yes. And you now have yourself a very growing, thriving business. So how many bank codes are there? There's 24 different iterations of the code, which means statistically you have a 1 in 24 chance, if you're going to just wing it, of matching the exact code when you go talk to someone. Those are terrible odds. Even if it was just a 1 in 4 match, like I showed you earlier, you're leaving potentially 75% of the business on the table. Why would you do that if there's a better way? So what we did at our company, Codebreaker Technologies, is we found a way that we could crack someone's code and get it right in less than 90 seconds. Take all of the guesswork out and take all of the wasted time on all of the conversations or all of the presentations that you've delivered only to end up in a no. What if we could just wipe it all away? And what if we could simply replace it with, here's the code, here's what to say to get a yes. Here's the code, here's what to say to get a yes. Here's the code, that's what bank became. That's why this became so easy and so fun, right? So some of what we created tools, we created training, and we created technology. One of the tools you may have started seeing around your chapters are the bank cards. I'm holding them up on my screen right now. I created a very cool, fun, tactile way that I could hand these to my prospect, or imagine a new NIA member coming to the event, and I say, welcome. Hey, do me a favor, Shannon, before we get started, take a look at these 4 cards. I just want you to sort them in order. Put the one that's most like you, most important to you on top, down to least like you, least important to you on the bottom. This is going to help me serve you better and save us both some time. Then I'd shut up and I'd watch what would happen. And every single time I hand someone these cards, they would sort them in order and hand it back. Literally, they just revealed their bank code, like their PIN code. And I thought, is it seriously this easy? All I had to do was follow my exact formulas, and inside of our bank system, we reveal all of the formulas of exactly what to say, what not to say to that code. It's that easy because it's based in science. And so the bank system started to work, and it worked nearly every single time. And that's why the study that I shared with you from a group unrelated to my company said you're 82% more likely to get a yes if you just match the personality style of your buyer. So I wrote a book called Why They Buy. And what I'd like to gift every single one of you as NIA members is, number one, I want to gift you a free assessment. I want you to go crack your code where you get to determine what your bank code sequence is. And we built a digital version of this. Go back to your franchisor and ask them for the link for you to take the free assessment, because they likely have one. And if there's a rare chance that they don't, you can get it in your business resources, but the first place to go is to them. Secondly, once you crack your code on our website, Codebreaker Global, there's this private link that you're going to need from your franchise owner. I then give you an opportunity to get a free copy, a digital copy of my book, Why They Buy. This is the physical one if you want to order it on Amazon, or you can get a free digital one. All I'm going to ask that you do is watch a short little video about bank, about 15 minutes, so that you're like, okay, it's sinking in. Oh my gosh, I get it. All right. So you can get a free digital copy, no strings attached. When you go to check out, just so that you know, there's an offer to do our technology and do a trial of it. You can try cracking people's codes for your customers. You can try using our artificial intelligence. If you think ChatGPT is cool, wait till you try Codebreaker AI. It can literally predict the bank code of your client. You can pull up their LinkedIn profile or put an email from them or a social media or a text message into our AI. It'll analyze it, predict the bank code, and then guide you on exactly how to engage to get a yes instead of a no. So you can do a whole 14-day trial for $1. After that, it's simply a subscription of $99 a month. Cancel it at any time. So if you're like, oh, I'm willing to risk $99 and 14 days for $1 to kick the tires on this thing to see what it's like to crack codes. If you have someone crack a code with your own link because you signed up for $1, we're going to send you, every time you crack a code, you're going to get a matching sales report on that person. Let's pretend you send it to Shannon. Shannon cracks her code with your link. She does the quick little assessment, less than 90 seconds. She gets a report for free you get a report that says, hey, Shannon just cracked her code. Here's her name, phone number, email, bank code, and here's a playbook with the top tips of how to communicate, negotiate, and close the sale with Shannon. Good luck on your appointment. Take it to the bank. So if you're someone who's looking to make a lot more money in a lot less time, then the bank program was basically built for you. And that's why Les Brown, and I'll end with this slide, Shannon, he said, look, this is a game changer. For anybody who's an entrepreneur or sales professional, basically an NIA member, this system is going to strengthen your confidence. You're way more confident when you know exactly how to communicate and get a yes, aren't you? Number 2, expand your selling skills. You don't have to be great in sales, but we're going to teach you the art and science of influence, which makes you great in sales. And number 3 is dramatically increase your income, because you could be the worst code breaker that we've ever had, and you're still going to make more money, because getting a yes just happens more naturally and more frequently when you use the methodology. That's why it's a science. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. And I know I took you all the way to the top of the hour, but I'm willing to stay on for an extra 5 minutes, maybe even 10 max, to answer any questions that you may have. So if you want to come out here with a question and raise your hand, right, or type it into the chat box and say, hey, Cheri, what about this? Or would it work on that? Or, you know, I'm happy to answer those questions. And Shannon, I also invite you, if you have anything that you want to add for the NIA specifically, where you're like, hey, I'm a franchisor and I'm a code breaker and I love it, and this is why I'm using it, I welcome your comments.
Yeah, I answered. Rick had a question about the difference on the subscriptions. One's just a basic link to crack codes. The other one includes some of the training, includes an AI tool. Super, super helpful. I use it multiple times a day. So where I will add the aha for me in particular is I felt that this tool, even more so than knowledge and nurture and action. And yes, it can help everybody, but knowledge and blueprint first struggle in a sales environment. They need help realizing it's not about them, and they want to give too much detail, and they're losing the actions, which are a lot of CEOs. And by the way, right, the entrepreneurs or they're off-putting to the nurture because they're not being warm enough. And so the emotional intelligence awareness of knowing who you are, and for me, the cards are a physical reminder. Shannon, shut up. This is an action. I'm going to give you too much detail, be too warm, get to the point. Or, oh, knowledge. Like, it is a physical reminder to me how to flip my switch. And so that's the thing that I want you guys to understand, is that this is a tool for you to tell you what to do and change in the moment.
And it's that easy. I wanted to make it so easy that you don't have to be a rocket science to use it. It's not rocket science, but it is personality science. And we figured out the exact formulas. And that's what all of our studies have shown, is that if you know someone's bank code, the chance of getting a yes is dramatically higher. So what other questions? Rick, I see your question here. Let me just comment on it. Our company is a subscription model for our technology. Our $29 subscription is unlimited code cracks. It's the digital version of this. So when you want to crack someone's code beyond just the cards, where you can actually gift them a $99 report for free by simply using your link that you're paying for with your subscription, 29 bucks a month lets you do that unlimited times every month. You can crack 10 codes, 50 codes, 500 codes, 10,000 codes in a month. Our system's going to bill you 29 bucks. I didn't want to bill you per assessment like every other assessment company. Our $99 subscription is our premium level one, and that one includes all of our AI. So we've got AI on the Chrome browser. We've got an extension that we've built. Like I said, you can pull up a LinkedIn profile, say, hey, there's Cheri Tree. I wonder what her bank code is. I don't know her, but I'd like to meet her. Push our AI button. The AI will read and analyze my entire profile, spit out a bank code prediction, and then guide you on how you should approach me, how you should message me, how you should schedule an appointment with me, what you should say to get me to lean into yes, based on whatever you're offering, even if it's just an appointment request. So that's one example. We have another part of our AI that we call our decoder. Imagine someone sends you an email and they're like, hey, and this is the email. You can take that email, copy it, paste it, put it into our decoder. The decoder will analyze it and spit out the bank code and start to guide you. Do this, don't do this. You can even type a response. How would I respond to an email that this code sent me? And it'll analyze it and say, you're writing the wrong code back to that person. You're probably going to get a no or no response. If you send it that way, you need to make the email more this way. So now you have to like type it to lean in more to that code. Well, guess what? Into the third version of our AI, which we just launched, which is our version of ChatGPT, only infused with the bank code. Now our AI can actually go and write copy for you, except it'll write it for the bank code of the person you're targeting. So rather than a ChatGPT that will just randomly create copy and you're like, I don't even know if this is on point for the code, our AI will filter it to the code specifically to give you the best shot at creating communication that is straight into the bullseye of the listening of the person you're trying to communicate with. So that's our $99 subscription. Both of our subscriptions, you can month to month cancel it at any time. You can upgrade, downgrade. Our $1 trial on the website, when you go back to the franchisor, they'll give you a special link that'll like give you access to some hidden pages for the free book and the $1 trial. The $1 trial is for our $99 subscription because we want you to play with the AI, use it. And if it ends up saving you a lot of time and giving you a much higher probability of a yes, then 99 bucks is nothing compared to what you end up making in revenue and saving in time. Or you can downgrade to 29 bucks and say, I just want to crack codes the old fashioned way. Or you can just simply say, no, thanks, this isn't for me. And you cancel it. It's okay.
So Cheri, I
yeah.
was in a strategy session with one of my Medicare members this morning, and we used the chat AI to come up with like an opening question that they could ask somebody that's planning for retirement that would incorporate all 4 codes, so that this was just a question they could ask. And depending on how they answered, would help them know at least just a little bit, even without the cards, to be able to be like, hey, this is my icebreaker for everybody of what are you planning or most excited about retirement, and then giving them some options.
So good.
So that was really kind of fun using the AI for that. There is a couple of questions in here.
Yeah.
A couple of them, like, where do we get the ebook, and where can we read the differences on the subscriptions? Once you crack your code, this is what we talked about. Check with your franchisee, your group owner. Chances are they are very much aware of bank and they can point you in the right direction. If not, it's on our solutions page, for the franchise member solutions, business solutions page. And so once you crack your code, you'll have the option to watch the video and download the book. You'll get a chance to see the subscription, read the differences between them. So it's not hidden anywhere. It's kind of part of the get to know your code first.
Yeah. And the reason we want you to go back to your franchisor is because when you crack your code with their link, they get to capture what that bank code is. And that way they have it and they can create awareness at their chapter level versus Scott, the NIA, collects it and he's integrated it into the platform. But we want each of the franchise owners to really know you. Our mantra is make people matter. And so if they know your code and they know Shannon's a nurturer and shows up nurturing, and I give you a hug and Bob is a blueprint and I need to respond differently. I know what your needs are before you even open your mouth when I know your code.
Well, and I'll add, if I could, we are a combination of all of these.
Yeah.
So as you learn and train and get better, you learn not to just make huge assumptions because you know just the first code. I'm a nurture knowledge. So if someone's too smothering knowledge or nurturing, it's annoying to me. Like, because I'm also this
you're
very,
like, I love you.
knowledge.
I'll give you a hug. Okay, that's enough.
Yeah. And I have like retained stupid amounts of information. And so you can't just assume because you know the first code that you're really going to speak to him. So when you get a chance to learn more, and for me, listening to Cheri's book, I download the book, I listen to it, especially like on the way to a meeting. I'm meeting with a blueprint. I'm going to listen to the blueprint chapter and I'm going to hear stories and help myself prepare for the meeting. So I use it a lot on the audio side of things too.
Thank you for sharing that, Shannon. I'll give you a few last little tips for those of you that want to kind of voyeur, keep listening. Let me just give you a few more before we go, and then we'll part ways. But this might be very helpful for you. So one is knowing the whole code sequence, like what Shannon said, is going to be very valuable. And what we discovered in all of our research and science was that the third part of someone's code is what gets triggered under stress. That's why you don't want to just guess their first type and be like, I can already peg a blueprint or an action. I can see them coming from a mile away. Great. That's a great start. But if you know the whole sequence, you're way more likely to be able to convert it all the way, right? Number two is, if any of you, like as a financial advisor, I was always talking to two decision makers, the husband and the wife. And most of the time in a relationship, what I found was that opposites attract and opposites attack. What would make one of them say yes made the other one say no. I've literally seen spouses kick each other under the table because one was ready to sign and the other one was like, oh, hell no, I said we're not doing it today. I had to learn to be bilingual so that I could assess what their codes were and then speak to each of them on totally different talking points in a way that made them turn to each other. Sometimes they wanted me to leave the room so that they could undo the agreement, which is like, we're not going to do business no matter what she says. And now they would say, I feel really comfortable and I want to move forward. Really? I feel really comfortable and I want to move forward. Okay, great. Let's sign today. And all of a sudden you've got yourself a deal closed where the deal was like, no matter what you say, we're not doing it, because of the polarity in the relationship. So that could be business partners, that could be husband, wife. We also see it if you're doing business with larger organizations where maybe you've got the buy-in of the CEO, and the CEO, like Scott's like, I'm on fire, let's do it. And then you have to go talk to the COO or the CFO, and it's like, no, we're not doing it. Well, our system is able to go to each one of the stakeholder decision makers, alter the focus points of the message, and get the yes, get the yes, get the yes. And all of a sudden you're shaking hands and high-fiving and going out to dinner with all of them because you just closed the whole deal. And we have story after story after story of this happening for our clients. So just so you know what the future path looks like, if you say, I want to be a code breaker, and by the way, we have over 365,000 code breakers around the world. And if you're like, well, why haven't I heard of this? Well, it's been like underground. We haven't put money into marketing on the surface. It's just been our customers using it and referring it. So one is become a subscriber. And again, if you want to put your toe in the water, do it for $1 at the $99. After 14 days, it'll automatically bill you $99. And we gift you $1,100 in bonuses. Part of what's included in that bonus are 2 master classes, 20 video modules each, short videos, but 1 full master class on bank for sales. Here's exactly how to sell to the 4 styles. And a bank masterclass on relationships, dating, parenting, and marriage, because no matter who you are, you have a private life that has codes showing up in it. Okay, so you're going to get both of those masterclasses as a gift from me to you. I also recorded my entire system on audio, and I'm going to give you that as a gift that you can download it into your smart device. You can cancel your subscription, and I'm still going to let you keep it. Okay, that's like normally $499 separately. You get it as a bonus on the $99 subscription. That's my way of saying I would love for you to be a member of Codebreaker, just like you're a member of the NIA. If this can help you make more money and save time, then it becomes a no-brainer. For clients that say, I want more, I want to study this up, I want to like indoctrinate myself into this and shorten my learning curve, we have a bank vault. A bank vault is all of our online courses. So you can unlock the vault for $2,000, $1,999, and suck up as much content as you want, unlimited access. You get a 2-year unlimited access for the $19.99. And that way, that's the equivalent of trying to fly across the country and come to all the workshops that I used to teach. I just professionally filmed it and put it into the bank vault. So you might only have 10 or 15 minutes available today. Go in there and study it. That's the bank vault. Our gift, if you unlock the vault, is we're going to give you tickets to our Codebreaker Summit, which is a $2,000-$3,000 experience. We're going to give you 2 tickets for you and a spouse. It's a virtual event, so you don't have to fly anywhere, but that way, when we put on a Codebreaker Summit, you're invited, and now you get taught by me and all of our top trainers. If you say, I love this so much, everybody in my office, I'm a financial advisor, I'm a mortgage broker, I'm a realtor, and everybody I know that I work with needs access to this. We have a referral program, an affiliate program, and you can learn more about that and basically get paid to refer. It just becomes an extra side of income. It maybe pays for all of your training and your technology subscriptions for referring it. We call our affiliates influencers, because bank is the art and science of influence. So that's an option, and you can make money. Some of our influencers make tens of thousands and close to already over $100,000 in less than a year referring the program. You can do that too if you want. And then the last part, if you're like, well, what if I went all the way? All the way for us means you get certified. And that's for the person who loves to teach. So if you're someone who's like, hey, I would like to not only use this, but I'd like to teach this. I'd love to put on a workshop. I'd like to go into a company and provide this type of training for my clients. Then you can come get certified with us, and we're happy to tell you more information. Again, just get back to your franchisor and they can help you get connected on wherever your journey wants to take you. All I want to do is I want to serve the NIA. Scott has trusted his entire network to our company, Codebreaker, as one of his strategic partners. The NIA is officially powered by bank. And what you're going to see over time is more and more adoption, not just across all the franchisees, but also all of their members, where bank becomes the common code language spoken inside the entire network. Now imagine going to your groups in the future and saying, hey, I have a referral. I want to refer you to Esther, and her bank code is ANKB. Imagine what that looks like now, knowing how to approach someone who's simply a referral, where you've got the tip on what their code is. That's the power of this methodology and technology. So Shannon, I've gone 15 minutes over. Let me officially thank you and turn it back over to you. And thank you for the opportunity to train everybody today. Scale of 1 to 10, real quick in the comment box, scale of 1 to 10, how much did you love this session? I'd just like to get your feedback, and Scott probably wants to know. You guys, thumbs up.
Thank
thumbs
you,
down.
everybody, for joining. I was actually pretty excited to see we went over, but only maybe 5% dropped off. So it was everybody was very interested to hear everything we had to say today. So hopefully you guys found this meaningful. If you have questions, talk to your franchisee, right? Why are we doing this? We're not doing this to sell you something. We're doing this so that you can close more business, make more money, serve more people.
That's why we call it bank, right?
Yep.
So make people matter, and take it to the bank. So thank you, everyone. Very nice to meet you.
Thank you, everybody.